You're sitting next to a stranger on a plane. Somewhere over an ocean at 3 in the morning, you start talking. 40 minutes later, you've told this person something you've never told your own mother, something you've never even said out loud before. You'll never see them again. And that's exactly why it felt safe. Here's the question nobody asks. Why does a total stranger sometimes feel more trustworthy than the people who have known you your whole life? Your instinct says trust is earned. Time together, shared history, blood, but the research says something almost backwards. The people closest to you can quietly make you less able to trust anyone new, and a person you'll never see again can unlock things nobody in your family has ever heard. This isn't random, it's wiring, and it goes back further than your family does. Start with something simple, a game. Researchers at Cornell ran a version of what's called the trust game. Two strangers, real money a few dollars each. One person can hand their money to the other, trusting them to share the profit fairly. There's no relationship here, no history, no real reason to expect fairness, and yet again and again people handed their money over anyway. Psychologist David Dunning, who led the research, called it excessive trust. Rationally, it barely made sense. People weren't running the numbers like a spreadsheet. Something else was working underneath. Dunning's team traced it back to guilt, or a felt sense of duty, almost like trusting a stranger was just what a decent person does. You felt this yourself. It's the same reflex that makes you believe a stranger's story on a train. The same one that makes you trust a stranger's directions in a city you've never visited. Trust isn't only a rational bet. It's a reflex, and it fires before you've even thought it through. So what happens when that same reflex meets your own family? This is where it gets uncomfortable. In 2023, sociologist John Ermish and his team ran the trust game again with a different question attached. Does the strength of your family ties predict how much you trust strangers? They measured family closeness with something concrete, how often people were actually in contact with a parent or an adult child. Then they compared that number to how the same people behaved with strangers in the game. The pattern held. The tighter someone's family bond, the less they trusted people outside it. And once the researchers controlled for other explanations, the link turned out to be more than coincidence. Strong family ties didn't just sit alongside distrust of outsiders. The data suggested they were quietly causing it. Sit with that for a second. The very thing that's supposed to make you feel secure, a close family, may be training your brain to treat everyone outside it as a risk. Why would evolution build something that seems this backwards? Zoom out far enough and it stops looking strange at all. For most of human history, you didn't live around thousands of people. Anthropologists studying small-scale societies have found that ancestral human groups typically numbered in the low hundreds, tight bands where nearly everyone was kin or married into kin. In that world, trust wasn't a feeling first. It was a survival calculation. Sharing food with your brother made sense. He carried your genes forward. He'd remember the favor. He'd be there next winter. Sharing with a stranger carried real cost with no guaranteed return. So your brain built a shortcut long before cities, long before money, long before strangers were even a normal part of daily life. Family, trusted by default. Outsider, prove it first. That shortcut still runs today. It's just running inside a world it was never built for. A world full of strangers you'll meet exactly once. And here's the part most people don't expect. The shortcut isn't only behavioral. It's chemical. Oxytocin gets called the trust hormone, the bonding hormone, sometimes even the love hormone. But researchers at the University of Amsterdam found something that nickname leaves out completely. In a series of experiments, men given oxytocin didn't become more trusting of people in general. They became more loyal to their own group specifically, and in some cases, more guarded toward outsiders. Oxytocin wasn't making anyone kinder across the board. It was making people better team players for one specific team. The same hormone that bonds you to family and close allies is the hormone quietly narrowing your circle of trust. It isn't built to open your heart to the world. It's built to lock you tighter into the group you already belong to. So if biology is working this hard to keep you loyal to your own people, how does a stranger ever get through? This is the part that changes everything. Researchers at New York University ran an experiment where people first learned, over time, which of several individuals were trustworthy and which weren't. Later, those same people met brand new strangers, faces they'd genuinely never seen before. The strangers who happened to resemble a previously trustworthy face got trusted almost instantly. The ones who resembled someone dishonest got treated with suspicion before they'd said a single word. Brain scans showed the same regions lighting up both times, including the amygdala, the part of your brain built for detecting threat. In other words, you never actually meet a stranger with a blank slate. Your brain is running a silent match against everyone you've ever trusted and everyone who's ever burned you. That person on the plane didn't earn your trust in 40 minutes. Somewhere in their face, their voice, their timing, they matched a pattern your brain had already filed away as safe. You just never knew the test was running. Here's what's actually happening when you open up to someone you'll never see again. It isn't that strangers are more trustworthy than your family. It's that strangers come with no future attached. No holiday dinners to sit through afterward. No risk that what you say tonight gets repeated to someone else in the family group chat. No, years of shared history that this one confession could quietly reshape forever. Family carries consequence. Strangers, most of the time, don't. And your brain, running a calculation far older than language, treats consequence-free. Disclosure as safety, even when the person hearing it is a complete unknown. It's why a stranger on a train can hear things your closest friend never will. It's why people confess more to a bartender than a sibling. And it's why an anonymous account online can end up holding a secret your childhood best friend has never been told. You're not choosing the stranger because you trust them more. You're choosing them because trusting them costs less. Next time you're on a plane at 3 in the morning, telling someone you've just met something you've never said out loud, notice what's actually happening underneath it. You haven't found someone safer than your family. You've found someone with nothing to lose. And for exactly as long as that flight lasts, neither do you. Then you land. You go your separate ways. And the version of